All right, let's do some practicing with z-scores. Here in number 1, a popcorn company finds that their 1 kilogram bags have a mean of 1,040 grams with a standard deviation of 20 grams. What is the z-score for a bag weighing 975 grams? All right, so remember, to find the z-score, we take the value, which in this case is the 975, minus the mean, 1,040, and divide by the standard deviation of 20. Recall that you want to make sure you have the numerator taken care of first. We have negative 65 over 20, which results in a z-score of negative 3.25. Now, what proportion of bags will weigh less than that? So if we draw the normal distribution, remembering that a z-score of 0 is in the middle, meaning negative 3.5 is to the left, less than that will be to the left of our blue line. Well, when you're looking at your z-score page, negative 3.25 is not on there, so we've got to go closest to, which is approximately negative 3.3. So if you look at negative 3, that's not on there either, my bad, negative 3, you will see that we have approximately a 0.13% chance of being less than 975 grams. So what proportion? 0.13%. Number 2. The tallest jockey to win the Kentucky Derby was Johnny Sellers at 5 foot 7 1/4 inches. Mr. Sellers was taller than what proportion of men? Now let's draw the picture first and figure out what we're trying to find. Okay, so if you're thinking about Johnny Sellers, let's just draw a line and say he's here. All right, so he was taller than what proportion? Well, if this is Johnny Sellers here and he's taller than people, that means we're looking for this side. All of these people would be shorter than him. So we need to find the z-score so that we can find the proportion that goes with that. So 5 feet, we're going to multiply that by 12 to get 60 inches and add the 7 1/4. He was 67.25 inches. That gives us a value. Now we can find the z-score. Value minus the mean of 70 divided by the standard deviation of 5. So I have negative 2.75 divided by 5 for a z-score of negative 0.55. When you look at your table, a z-score of negative 0.55 results in a proportion of approximately 29.12%. So Johnny Sellers was I think he's probably dead, was taller than 29.12% of men. Very exciting. Number 3. Assume the average cholesterol level for 20 to 34-year-olds is 186 milligrams per deciliter, whatever the hell that means. We got a standard deviation of 37.2. It seems that 200 milligrams per deciliter is the current cutoff for hypercholesterolemia. I'm going to guess that big long word is high cholesterol. So what proportion of 20 to 34-year-olds have high cholesterol according to this standard? Well, if we need to find proportion, that means we need to find a z-score. So we have a value, 200, minus the mean, right, because here's the average, 186, divide by the standard deviation of 37.2. So I have 14 over 37.2, which results in a z-score of approximately 0.37. Now, let's draw the picture. And we have, the 0 in the middle. So a z-score of 0.37 is over here. But if you look at your table, we do not have 0.37. We've got 0.35 and we have 0.4. So we are going to use 0.35 for our z-score, closest to, we round. All right, so if we want to know people with high cholesterol, they are higher than that. So we're looking area to the right. Now, when you look up 0.35 on your table, it's going to spit at you a value of 0.6368. But remember, that's area to the left of your z-score. So to find the area on the right, we're going to take 1 minus that value, 0.6368, and that means we have a 0.36. I have one too many numbers. Why do I have 506s? There we go. Okay, so 0.3632, which is 36.32% of people 20 to 34 have high cholesterol. I am not one of them. Are you? Ooh, we just got deep. Okay, number 4. The average 1-year-old male baby weighs 22.7 pounds with a standard deviation of 2.7 pounds. What percentile is a 1-year-old male baby who weighs 19 pounds? So remember, percentile, proportion, probability, all the same crap. We got to start with a z-score. So value minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So that gives us a negative 3.7 over 2.7, and my z-score is negative 1.37, which we will approximate to be negative 1.4, because we have to have something that's going to be on the table. Now, when I draw my picture, I've got negative 1.4 is over here, and we want to know the percentile. So we simply need to know what does that correspond to on our z-score table. And when I look it up, it's 0.0808. That translates to the 8th percentile. So a 1-year-old male baby who weighs 19 pounds is in the 8th percentile, meaning that kid weighs more than 8% of the male babies his age, which is not much. So that kid's little, needs to put on some pounds. Maybe, I don't know, eat a sandwich. All right, and that's it for your z-score practice.